Creating an Angry Birds clone 2D game. Well, after all the things we've learned in the previous sections, here we are, we're going to make a complete game from scratch. We're going to create projectile motion with input, add the game obstacles into the world, add win-loss conditions and a UI to reflect that on the screen, and we'll even have time to add some extra polish. 2D project setup. In this video, we'll cover what's the inspiration for a new game project and how do we translate that inspiration into the key concepts and physics concepts we'll need for the game. Then we'll open up Unity and get started. A note about all of Section 5 is we'll be spending a lot more time inside Unity. Planning a 2D game. Let's take Angry Birds, a popular mobile physics game, as our inspiration. Here's a very basic screenshot showing some illustration of where major parts of the screen will be. We're going to keep the 2D gameplay. We're going to use projectile motion. That blue ball would fly through the air toward the Pac-Man yellow character. We'll have physics collisions with the green ground and the crates that are brown. We'll have explosions, and we'll have a light, fun art style. This represents the end graphics that we're shooting for. The game that we create will look like this. The rules of our game, we're going to call it Upset Ducks. The rules are to kill all the ducks using limited asteroids to win. I think we'll give you 3 asteroids, and you try and hit 3 ducks. Mouse drag to shoot an asteroid. As the asteroid collides with the objects, it will remove health from ducks and crates. The duck health, when it reaches 0, the duck will die and give you points. The crate health, when it reaches 0, will explode, and that will help clear out the level so that you can hit the ducks. Let's talk about the physics involved. There's 3 major steps. As you can see, we have an asteroid inside of a catapult. We're going to use target joint to pull that back with the mouse and release it. The asteroid's flight through the air will be using physics add force and gravity. When the collisions happen, the ducks and crates will use on-collision events to check how fast did you hit me, how much damage should it cause, etc. And as a bonus, we'll have explosions using 2D effectors. Let's talk about the task breakdown we'd need to get this done. This is also what we'll cover in each of the 5 videos in this section. In 5.1, we'll do the 2D project setup. In 5.2, we'll handle the catapult and the asteroid and how to handle the input. In 5.3, we'll create the crates and the upset ducks. In 5.4, we'll add win-loss conditions, including the UI that you see in text. And in 5.5, we'll add extra polish, like the explosion effect and also some sounds. The 2D project setup. Let's use this screenshot as our target goal. We'll set up the folders, set up the camera, the ground, and the background. We'll talk a bit about camera settings and also pixels per unit on the sprites. So let's open up Project. It'll be in Section 5, Video 1, and this scene we'll look at is Upset Ducks 1. Also, throughout this section, sometimes we'll jump into a scene and see the end result, and then I'll start coding from scratch to get us there. Other times we'll use the previous video as the starting point for the next video. So you can follow all the way along from 5.1 to 5.5 and complete the game. All right, let's open up Unity and get started. We'll take a look at the Upset Ducks 1 scene as our inspiration. We're going to be recreating this. You can see we've got the sky sprite background, the grass sprite for the floor, and these black boxes on the outside which will catch the shot if you shoot it too far off screen. It's just there, not for the user to see, but just for some simple physics. So we can see the folder setup we've got here: animation, physics material, prefab, scenes, scripts. So we're going to replicate that from scratch. I'm actually going to keep these folders, and I'll just delete what we have here and create a new scene from scratch. I'll give it the same name, Upset Ducks 01. Oh, it's actually going to rename it for me there. So I'm going to delete the original one. And here we have this. Okay, so we've got an empty scene. We're ready to go. So first thing I'm going to do is just search for some of the assets we need. Sky tile sprite. Grass sprite. Get those out into the world. Then I can just start moving them around. You'll notice that the grass is behind the sky. So For the sprite renderers, one setting we want to tweak is the order in layer property. We can do that. And create one here. Then this is going to be our ground with physics, so we need a collider. And if we edit the collider, we'll make it so that a little bit of grass sticks up above the collider. Then I'm going to want to duplicate that. So we've got 2. And move up the background a little bit as well. So we're good. Now to create those other parts, just drag a black box out here, resize it, add a collider, and it's not too important where these go yet. The idea is just to catch those shots. We'll be able to tweak it later. So there we go. We've got a good looking screen set up with the grass, the sky, and these black boxes just to catch the shots that go too far. Now let's pack that all together. Just to have a clean view here, we'll zero out, create an environment, and we'll put everything into it. And we'll drag it down here into our prefabs. So we're all set up. That way we can reuse this prefab between scenes if we want to. And I also started with another world items game object here. And that's the place where we'll put the crates and the ducks, etc. in future videos. But that's it. Thanks very much.